Hello everyone. It is Saturday, June 10th, around 11:30 a.m. I've been hiking around 30 minutes so far, and today I am hiking in the Roan Highlands on the North Carolina-Tennessee border. It's been a couple years since I've hiked in this area, and the main reason I'm back today is there are still two 6,000 foot peaks on this trek that I haven't done. So I'm going to do them today as part of my peak bagging quest. The other reason I'm here today is mid-June, early June, is when all of the flowers start blooming at this high elevation. And the Roan Highlands and the rhododendron gardens of Roan Mountain have the highest concentration of catawba rhododendrons in the world. And they also have flame azaleas and graze lilies. But today, I believe the rhododendron are going to be in full bloom. So instead of starting at Carvers Gap, which most people normally do, I started at Hughes Gap today, which is about 6.5 miles south along the Appalachian Trail. One of those reasons, actually the main reason, is because it's a madhouse up there today. This was my original plan, but I decided to drive up to Carvers Gap because I thought I was a little early and I would get a parking spot. That wasn't true. I think every possible area to park was full, and cars were lining up on the shoulders all the way down the road. And there was just groups of 20, 30 people milling about. And I really hate being in the crowds all day, so I immediately turned around and drove to Hughes Gap, which sits, I think, at 42 or 4,300 foot of elevation. So it means I gotta climb around 2,000 feet over 5 miles or so to Tollhouse Gap. And from there, I'm going to do the mile out and back to Roan High Bluff, which is a 6,000 foot peak on the South Beyond 6,000 list, but it's just a sub peak of Roan High Knob. It does have great views, and on that 1 mile trek, you have the opportunity to do some of the side trails through the rhododendron gardens. And then I'll continue north on the Appalachian Trail across Roan High Knob, which is 6,285 feet in elevation, and is the tallest peak in the Roan Unaka Mountains complex area. Sometimes you'll see a Unaka pronounced Unaka, but I don't really like drawing out that U. It sounds very southern. So once I get to the top of that, I'll have a choice. I can either turn around for like a 12-mile hike, or if I'm feeling good, I could keep going onto the balds, to Grassy Ridge bald. If I do that, it's going to be close to a 20-mile hike, but it'd be worth it because it's beautiful up there and the flowers are blooming everywhere. It should be a great but long day. So once I get close to the top, I'm probably going to shoot a lot of video without much narration because it's going to be really crowded, I guarantee you. I'm at or close to the summit of Beartown Mountain at a nice grassy flat spot. So I thought I'd show you the map for this area. Again, National Geographic maps aren't the best detail, but they're good for road navigation and elevation and stuff. But you don't really need a map for this whole hike because it's almost all Appalachian Trail. But I'll show you this anyway. Started at Hughes Gap, and I'm following the trail south, which is Appalachian Trail north, but compass south. And I'm around Beartown Mountain, which is 5495. So I have to drop into Ash Gap, which is a shallow gap, and then climb about 700, 800 feet or so to Tollhouse Gap. And when I get up there, I'll be on the Roan Mountain Massif and stay above 6,000 feet most of the way. And my first plan is to go on these trails through the rhododendron gardens to Roan High Bluff and turn around and then head east over Roan High Knob. And if I have time, I'll drop to Carvers Gap and follow the Appalachian Trail over the balds to Grassy Ridge Bald and back. But just this and back is going to be around 12 to 13 miles. So it's going to be a long day. Check out this sea of green grass through Ash Gap, just lining the sides of the trails. This is pretty amazing looking. Around 6,000 feet now in the thick of southern Appalachian spruce-fir forest. I'm getting very close to Tollhouse Gap, and I think when I get there, it's going to be an amusement park of people for the rest of the day until I leave the gap. But should be getting close to those rhododendrons soon. The site of the Cloudland Hotel at Tollhouse Gap. Gonna head in that direction. Currently on the Cloudland Trail out to Roan High Bluff. Very beautiful trail. Getting close to Roan High Knob. I'm actually pretty surprised the Appalachian Trail is wide and bouldery all the way here. I already went out and back on the Cloudland Trail to Roan High Bluff, which had pretty good views, and I did the entire big loop through the rhododendron gardens. And if you can't tell, I took no video of it because the rhododendron weren't really blooming up there, which was above 6,000 feet. So sadly, I didn't get many pictures, didn't take any video, and it was super crowded. But I remember earlier when I drove up to Carvers Gap that the rhododendron were in full bloom around Round Bald. So I think I'm going to push myself to at least get to Round Bald for a long day hike. I don't know if I'll make it all the way to Grassy Ridge and back, but that's my plan, just because it looked like a magical dark pink forest. Here's the high point for Roan High Knob. I just walked up there and tagged the top, and for once I'm really glad that the top is super obvious, this big cluster of boulders. It is 6,285 feet, I believe, which is the tallest peak in the Roan Highlands and the Untitled Mountains. So that's two 6,000 footers off my list today. I think I only got 12 or 14 more to go. This is a really awesome flat top of the mountain. And there's actually a shelter over here. Here's the Roan High Knob shelter. This is the highest elevation shelter along the Appalachian Trail. And from here, if you continue north, you will not go above 6,000 feet until you get to Mount Washington in New Hampshire. This is the last 6,000 footer for, I don't know, 1,200 miles, maybe more. This is what I'm talking about. Rhododendrons are blooming nicely at Carvers Gap. Really crowded though. I made the decision to stop and rest here at Round Bald, and I'm gonna turn around because it's already 4 o'clock and I have about 8 miles to go back, so it's gonna take me around 3 hours, I think, but still a good stopping point. I'm just a little disappointed because I can see just swaths of pink on Jane Bald straight ahead and Grassy Ridge Bald above. Seems like the rhododendron is really thick up there. I got amazing views of Hump and Little Hump Mountain, Hanging Rock, Beach Mountain, and there are the Amphibolite Mountains in the distance there, with Snake Mountain being the biggest, and the peak on the left. You can see Linville Gorge through there, the Black Mountains, and then Roan High Knob, which I have to climb all the way back up. I'm gonna take a little nap first. The forest keeps changing as you get higher. Really awesome. Awesome forest. Awful trail. I am about to finish up. Getting very close to Hughes Gap. I can actually hear a car below. It's been a long day. The hike's going to turn out to be around 17.5 miles. I only got as far as Round Bald. If I made it to Grassy Ridge Bald as my original plan, it would have been closer to 20 miles. But that's okay because it's around 7 o'clock. Which means I've been hiking around 8 hours today. So if I did that extra couple miles, I'd probably be finishing up around 8 o'clock tonight. Either way, I feel pretty good. This is, I think, the longest single day hike I've done in months, maybe since last year before I tore my Achilles. I'm getting back to those 15 to 20 mile days. I just need to pick up the pace a little. You know, for a 17, 18 mile hike, I'm hoping closer to 7 hours, not 8 hours. But that's okay. Apologies that the video was kind of scattered around today and not a lot of narration. I was in a hurry, and when there's a lot of people around, I get kind of nervous when I film these. And I don't think I did a very good job, but I'm still gonna upload it and post it. So I hope you enjoyed this hike. This is a cousin or a sister companion version of my Roan Highlands hike. This isn't as scenic, but it's still a really great hike, awesome forest. And if you have the time or the energy, you can definitely make it a better hike by continuing on to Grassy Ridge Bald. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time.